to ask you a question too about, other use cases or case studies you guys can each share. But I think like the point here from a retail perspective and having run stores too, like you can lock out a recall, you can lock out a recall and you can make it so you can't sell it through the register, but you don't know what you're really locking out ultimately at the end of the day. And it also doesn't get at the expiration info. Like that doesn't solve that problem. Like you can have stuff on the shelf that's expired and you just don't know if it's still going through the till. That's what we're talking about here, right?
Absolutely.
Ayub, do you want to say something?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'd add to that is to us, there's multiple facets of that, right? If you think from supply chain, it's increasing those efficiencies that Carrie spoke about. When is something expiring, notifying people, what do I have to go have a flash sale on because I might have additional products to bring around, right? The other application is there's this need from a consumer standpoint to connect more with these brands. And what I mean by that is, think about it, I'm scrolling through Instagram, I'm seeing 20 plus brands at any time I'm going through Instagram, probably a little bit too much, as my wife tells me. And so I'm buying kids vitamins. I don't know what I'm buying at this point, but I don't have that brand loyalty that I once did, right? And so as you see from a consumer aspect, this 2D barcode actually unlocks a lot more. I would say from a consumer aspect, I'll give you a good example, right? Daily Harvest. What they do is they deliver essentially these food built on fruits and vegetables right to your door, and you cut them up and you kind of go along with your recipe. And so the way they're using it is actually three different processes. And this isn't 2D, but this is essentially unlocking QR codes as a gateway. And so you think the first one is retail store engagement, right? I'm sitting at a Kroger store. I'm looking at this QR code, I scan it, and Daily Harvest is there telling me about their charitable causes. They're telling me about the valuable insights just from their ingredients, from their ingredients and from their overall package offering. On the other side of that, Daily Harvest is actually gaining valuable insights. So they're knowing the number of scans, engagement levels, geographic data. Are people buying me more often in Saratoga than they are in LA? And so that allows them to really understand sustainability initiatives. The second area is the product packaging. So if you think about this again, it unlocks another gateway. And so that becomes, hey, let me scan this. It's going to give me ingredient information, how to make these recipes, or other things I could do with them. It gives me, and on the retailer side, it gives them again more detail into what the customer preferences are, what are their engagement patterns, and then last but not least, we're in this referral age, right? I just purchased a ring, and the reason I purchased a ring, which gives me all my health data, because my buddy told me, hey, you need to know how often you sleep. Bizarre enough, right? But it's a referral program. And inside every Daily Harvest box, there's a QR code that can also help you easily facilitate these referrals. You do like a product. So you get, in essence, more brand loyalty. Marketing also gets their opportunity to tell the brand story. And then you have supply chain, which can handle the efficiencies portion of it. So it's really a full end-to-end.
Yeah, Ayub, I think that was kind of the most revelatory thing of this podcast so far for me is like I had thought about the things that Carrie was talking about, the use cases for the retailers and brands, but there really are more consumer use cases within that same barcode. Like the use cases are growing significantly. And especially I think as we start to think about where the return on investment is going to start to come from, because it's not just in the data that you have to support, keeping things from expiration, throwing out less food, but it's also from that engagement data, I would imagine, that you're getting now from consumers that marketers can use that could potentially be plugged into retail media at some point in time. Am I thinking about that correctly, or is there more that you would add there, Ayub?
Yeah, absolutely. So I do think of it in many ways in that way, shape, and form as well. So Curology, another customer of ours, right? They provide beauty products. And so what they can now do with some of your data is understand what you are purchasing and then help you identify what other products to purchase and what's going to help you in the skin results that you're going for. And so if you think of how brands can actually attach to this data, they can go specifically target to you, right? And they, let's
Yep.
say you're interested in this in curology and you buy one of their products for, I don't know, a cream. And so they see how often you're buying it. And maybe from that data, they actually now start personalizing your experience. This is how you can use it. This is how you should use it. By the way, have you also seen this product? So unlocking those gateways in that relationship that again has been transactional in nature in the past is really where I vividly see the magic happening.
Yeah.